Diesel TMS, the No Limits TMS. Diesel TMS is the first free cloud-based TMS designed specifically for carriers and brokers. It offers a seamless experience across both desktop and mobile devices, both free and paid plans, no limits on customers, loads, users, etc., a low barrier to entry. You can get started quickly and easily. Industry expertise. It was built from the ground up by a team that understands the industry as well as common pitfalls of existing TMS solutions. Collaboration and security, cross-account rate sharing, and integrated fraud reporting, which is opt-in. A low barrier to entry, which means it's free to use, so you can try it before you commit. Community-driven innovation. Suggest and vote on features. Our roadmap is shaped by your needs. A dark mode option. AI email to quote, which allows load-related emails you receive from customers to be automatically converted into rate quotes in Diesel TMS within seconds. E-signature support, allowing you to request e-signatures for rate confirmations, rate quotes, and more. Address autocomplete, mileage calculation, basic accounting, invoicing, receiving, billing, paying, and it's monetized with ads, which means our core focus is not squeezing more money out of you, our customers. It's helping you succeed, because the more you use the software, the better. Now, let's get started. After logging in, you'll be taken straight to your dashboard. Over time, this area will populate with widgets, metrics, and analytics tailored to your business, helping you monitor and improve your performance. You can even download and share widget data and images with your team, like so, like that. And then you can email that out or email that off to someone or etc. I'm actually going to start with account configuration, go through here really quick. So this is your, basic company information right here. You can also enter in multiple currencies if you do multiple currencies. You upload a logo for your rate confirmations, your invoices, etc. And also you can upload an icon, which will go in the top left corner right here to give you a little bit of branding, white labeling type thing. You can also decide uh, what you want to call loads, dispatches, invoices, rate quotes, so you can actually change these terms and make them anything you want. Like if I wanted to make rate quotes, what if I wanted to call them, let's say, proposals instead? I just do that and then I can save it. And anytime I see rate quote instead, it will say proposal like that. So I'm actually going to change it back, but it's just to show you how that works. Below that, there are options and defaults like requiring a PO number when invoicing or selecting a user's default homepage when you create a user. You can also add some custom fields to the maintenance forms. There's lots of options here, and we're adding more all the time. And lastly, there's a section for your addresses. This would be the address that would be shown on, for example, rate confirmations for carriers to send their bills to. And then this address over here is the address for invoices for customers to send payment to. So you can enter in anything in here. If you have a factoring company, some people might enter in the factoring company in these places just to make billing a little simpler. On the right, it's just a list of basically all the pages, kind of like a sitemap, if you remember those from a long time ago. Uh, okay, so moving on from there, I'm going to I'm going to start with a quote. So if I click here, I will see my quote list. Now, just briefly, I want to talk about this list page. All of the lists that you see in the application are somewhat similar. So they all have an option to enable or disable any column. You can reorder these columns and sort them however you like. And then you can also sort by any column on any report in the software. and you can export these to Excel, PDF, etc. And one of the really neat things is the way we handle searching. So if I wanted to search for, let's say, a certain customer, I can just enter in the customer, CX, followed by the customer name, and it should search for only customers that start with that name. So let's see, moving on, I'm going to go ahead and create a quote, and just going to choose our customer. So, all right, and here's the quote. So we can go ahead, fill that out. Let's put in a PO number, just put something in here. This is all dummy data, it's not real. So put in, let's see, where's standard truckload, okay. And we can put in our equipment, say it's flatbed. You can also customize many of these drop downs. Let's see, our trailer size is 53 feet. And so for locations, like I mentioned, you can actually do auto-complete. So you can search for any location, pretty much in North America, and it should come right up. Let's say I wanted to pull up, like, let's say I wanted to pull up Walmart in, let's say, Birmingham, Alabama. I should get some op. There we go. So I could say, let's select this one, okay? And we can just stick a date in here, and then let's say we're going to deliver to Target, also in Birmingham. Just make it simple. Okay, that one was the location I already had in the system. So we can do that. Let's say it delivers on the following day, and we can enter our product. Let's say it's freight all kinds, 41,000 pounds. Let's say it's pallets, and it's 12 pallets of freight all kinds, something. We can put in link with, etc. I'm gonna just leave that blank for now. And let's say go ahead and save that. And so as you'll see, the weights and type and quantity and everything will copy right over to the right. Um, and I can go ahead and enter in a contact if I have one. So these contacts could come from the customer or the location. Once you've kind of built that information up, you can enter in any stop notes that you have right here. And then your rates will go right here. So we say we're going to bring in, let's say it's 2100 flat rate, and let's say we're gonna be paying. Let's see, that should be flat rate. Okay, and say we're going to be paying 1600, just like that, and we'll save this. If I needed to add a second line item, I can actually either click this plus button, or I can double click and it'll add a line item. To delete, you just right click, click delete, and that keeps you from having to waste space on a button. So now that we've got that in here, I think we've got all of our basic information here. I should be able to generate the miles for this load. So let's try this. See if we can get this to work here. Let's see. I may have to demo that one a little differently. Let me grab a load over here. Okay. And let's see. Yep, I should have this. Okay. So one click there, and we should, nope, no miles. That's okay. We'll come back to it later. So there we go. I was missing the dimensions. Okay. So it happens to be only 2 miles from this Walmart to this Target. Not too surprising, but okay. And as you can see down here at the bottom, there are accounting details, so I can see what my profit margin is, how much I'm making, what my costs and charges are, etc. I can also add in any notes I want to, just general notes. And then once I've got my quote built out, I can print that off. Let's see here. Yep. So this would be your quote. You can generate that, and then you can download that, send it off. We also support emailing directly out of the system. So if I click here, I should get an email form, and then you just enter in the email you want to send it to. Click on send, and that should get sent right off. Let's see here. Okay, and there we go. So that's how that works. Very easy. Once I've got my rate quote, uh, confirmed everything, customer accepts it, looks good. I can go ahead and convert that to a load or a dispatch. So let's say we're going to go with convert to load. Okay, so converted it to a load. We're now on the load. And as you can see, we've added a note that says converted from quote number, 522. And we can go ahead. Let's say we're going to assign our carrier. And okay, we're going to assign that. And any other information we need to enter. Let's see. Okay, no, looks pretty good. Okay, and I think we're kind of done with that one. Next up, we could add some status updates if we wanted to, check calls. This list is completely customizable, so you can just do that and then, save it like that. Ooh, I clicked the button again for some reason. And then you can also make status changes up here if you like. And all these statuses are customizable as well. So, once it's delivered, you can enter that. Any files you want to attach, you can just click here and, you can upload whatever, whatever file you like. And so let's see. So a rate confirmation for the carrier might look like something like this. Uh, so you can actually customize your rate confirmations completely in Diesel TMS. So I'll actually show you how that works a little bit. Okay, so um, let's go to our PDF templates. So PDF template, this allows you to customize any document that you send out. So as you can see, we've got basically kind of like a Microsoft Word over here on the left. And what we're doing is we're entering placeholder values for anything we want to insert. And then over here on the right, you just say, okay, I want to add, insert this thing, whatever this is, and pull it up. You search for it in this list. Let's say we wanted to add, I don't know, let's say the carrier's DUNS number if they had it, We just do something like this. I can actually just do that right there. And then over here, we could say, okay, instead of my DOT number, I want to use the DUNS number, just for example. Boom. And then if that carrier does have a DUNS number, and I go back over here, print that rate confirmation. Let's see. Oops, I was on the wrong tab. So let's go back to our load. There we go. And we print our rate confirmation. And boom, there you go, DUNS number right there. So you can actually copy these PDFs and make as many, templates as you like. You can experiment a bit. And then if you ever get stuck or, run into a problem, I would, like I said, always recommend copying them so you can revert back to another version. Or um, you can always contact us and we'll be happy to help you get that taken care of. Okie dokie. And that copy button is right here at the bottom. So let's move on. Let's go look at statuses really quick. So statuses are completely customizable. You can create as many as you want. The colors are completely customizable. So if you notice, each status has a color associated. So I can change the colors for for those. And I can also change the categories. So I can say, okay, so the open category should be associated with, let's say, committed loads, available loads, and pending loads, let's just say. And I want the color for that to be some kind of a greenish color. All right. And so that's that. And then if I go to my load list or my quote list, I should have an open category right there. And that will search for available, pending, and committed loads. And it just gives you a really easy way to, kind of create tabs and organize the data. You can also set an auto refresh timer for the load list or the quote list, and that will continuously update the list, so in case data changes or information changes. One other neat feature is you can actually make any change you need from a load to a load directly from the load list. If you click on the load without clicking on the button over here on the left, you can open up that load in a window at the bottom. And so I can go here and I can, change, a rate or something like that. And boom, and I should close that and go back to, let's see, and then it should stay on this list actually. And that should be reflected in the list there. Um, so you got page numbers right here. You can flip through the pages like this. And let's see. So let's go to carriers now. So carriers, the way we handle carriers is a little different. We're working on some onboarding integrations, but in the meantime, what we actually do have is a list of all the carriers in the FMCSA database. So it's something like 2 million. And you can actually search right here for, let's see, so let's say I wanted to search for, and this works for all like loads as well, show you in a moment. So if I wanted to search for DOT number 234, I can pull that up, there it is, and that's Doug Andrus right here. And if I wanted to use this carrier, I can see all their information. And this should be the most up-to-date information that the FMCSA has on file. All comes directly from them. You can also see any comments that anyone has added to this carrier. Let's say they had a fraud notification or something along those lines. You'd see that right here. And let's say I'm going to go ahead and use this carrier. So I'm going to go click this button. It will create a carrier for them. It'll insert all this information that you see. And so, yep, looks good. And if they're an active carrier, it should make them active. Let's see, yeah, and then you can also see all that information, all that same information right down here in the bottom corner. If there was something that I wanted let's say, copy over, didn't make it over, I can just click it, and then I can copy it, and then I can paste it just like that. Boom, and I'll paste it, wherever I want to paste it. So from here, now the FMCSA doesn't keep insurance information on file, so you would need to capture that information somehow. Um, so you can enter your insurance policies just right here, pretty easy. Um, and if you notice actually, some of these sections like this, uh, these sections by default they're shrunken. So if I mouse over a different section, you can see that one shrinks. And then if I mouse over, let's see this one, they kind of shrink back and forth like that. You can actually lock these so that they click right here. Let's see. Well, here you go. So if I wanted to lock one of those open, I can just click in this corner right here, and that section will automatically lock that so it will remain open and it won't, move around. Just an easy way to collapse sections if you've got because sometimes, yeah, there's a lot on the page, like this, especially this one. So just gives you a way to customize what's important to you and decide, what you want to see and what you don't. This is the driver page, by the way. So there's quite a bit of information you can enter here. Um, and you would use this if you were a carrier or trucking company. Let's see. So I mentioned the load list and searching. So you can actually, for example, I've opened up the load list here. And if I wanted to, let's say, search for only loads with this test carrier, I can just put in CR test carrier, and that will pull up only loads that match that carrier. So there's actually tips down here you can see. So DC delivery city, pickup state would be PS, load type. So you can use any of these, to search. Let's see. So let's say I wanted to search for loads where the pickup city is New York. I can just enter this and then boom. And I can also add these together. So let's say I wanted to do, um, you know, pickup city New York, ship 0711. Let's see, we should get, there you go. So there's your loads that are picking up in New York on 711, just like that. And right. And so uh, going over some of the features we covered today. Oh yeah, one more thing. So user settings. If you go to our user settings, you'll find the option for example, dark mode is right here. So there you go. So there's a dark mode. And let's see, so if I were to go open a load, it would look something like this. Needs a little work maybe, but it's by and large pretty good. Needs a couple of tweaks, but turn that back off. And so you can also customize your nav bar at the top. So I can say, okay, I don't really need to see, let's say, driver, but I do want to see my locations. So let's save it like this, and then boom, you can see got locations here now. There are my locations. And um, I can do that with any of those. Permissions are very, very in-depth in our system. You can also use permissions to do things like create a login for your customers because there are no limits on the number of users that you can have. So you can set up a specific permission structure so that they can only see certain things and they can't create or delete or update anything, just read. And they would only be able to see the things that, a customer would, you would want a customer to see. So you can customize all of that right here, very in depth. You can create roles, or you can create one user, and then you can copy that user to create, another one for another customer, that kind of thing. You can also customize your home page. So if you wanted to by default go to the load list instead of the dashboard, you can change that right here. You can change your email signature, update your password, all that good stuff. And all that's right here. So let's see, we covered the load list and searching, the quick edit functionality like this. Uh, oh, copying a load. So there's two ways. You can open the load and copy it like this, or you can scroll over here to the right, and there's a copy button next to each load on the list. So I can just click that, and then there's a copy of that load that I was just looking at. Um, and I And let's see, close that. Okay. So we went through permissions, the customizable columns, sorting, all those things. So we've designed this to be intuitive, easy to use. Now one last feature I will share with you is a global search. So let's say I wanted to, for example, pull up a certain load. Let's say 1054. Should be able to 1054. I may have to stick that O in front to get, there we go, order number 1054. And well, there it is actually, but so it would open like this. And yeah, so that's the main stuff. I will do another video going through accounting and all the tutorials, the ticketing system, the suggestions in our API, and everything else. But feel free to create an account and sign up, play around. We'd love to hear any of your feedback, any information, opinions you have or suggestions. We would love to hear it. So thank you for your time and have a great day.